been doing this? For the first, say, 20, 30 years, God, have I been painting that long? First 20 years or so of my paintings, of my art, I was always locked into kind of producing what was in my head and pulling it off. You know, this is, okay, I'm gonna do this tree, it's gonna be in this light. I'm gonna do this road, and it's gonna be this, and it's gonna have this to say. And it wasn't until the, I don't know, I would say the mid-'80s, late '80s, that I was actually able to move outside of myself and let the painting have a say and dictate what was going on. And that was a great move. In fact, I'll tell you how it happened. My longtime friend and agent, Brenda Wilson, who's been with me for over 30 years now, but she was just beginning when she picked me up. And she called me over to her house once and said, I want you to look at something. She opened her portfolio, and there were these little, I don't know, maybe 10-inch square abstractions, work I guess she was handing from some artist in LA, who knocked these little abstractions out for money. She needed money, you know. She knocked these little, and I didn't work abstractly. I worked in a kind of a stylized way, but not completely abstractly. She said, look at here, we're selling these like hotcakes. Why don't you give it a try? I'm starving, so I go home and say, how do I do this? So I take some tape and I tape off little squares, and I just start scribbling, you know, with these oil bars that I had, or maybe oil pastel. And first of all, it kind of broke me loose. It gave me a certain freedom. So I'm not restricted by anything. But what happened was I had worked from life for so long, especially out of doors, that when I started scribbling something down, I would see something from real life, from like maybe something that had a landscape orientation to it. And I actually liked it because it happened out of a spontaneity as opposed to me self-consciously going in and trying to paint a tree or a cloud, because it happened out of abstraction, you know what I'm saying? It's like a sprezzatura, where it feels like it just fell off the brush. The stuff that still intrigues me the most is like, for instance, on this painting, in this area here, it's clear that no one went in and said, okay, I'm going to draw this line, and then I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to scumble some green over it, and maybe do some washes here. That can't be done, you know. It had to have happened in the rush of the moment by accident. And that's what I would call sprezzatura, where it feels like it just fell off the brush. And when that happens and it actually does something interesting, then the smart thing is to leave it alone and then say, okay, this is better than the painting I had in mind, so I'm going to exploit that. So everything else in the painting then goes to support that. I guess that was the point I was trying to make. I better take another drink of beer.